Hello friends, welcome back. Open with the paint. Okay, we are seeing control statements. We have seen if else, else if ladder, switch case, and when to use them, right? These are conditional statements. Based on the condition, they execute some specific part or they skip some specific part of a code, right? Now we will be going through the next part, that is looping statements or iterative statements, we say them. Iterative means you will be using these statements when you want to execute some set of statements repeatedly. Like we have four different statements or looping statements or iterative statements in C#. They are for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Okay, very useful constructs. Now let us see how they are useful, what we can do with for loops, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Okay, let's come back. Now here we have the Unity code. Now we will be starting with the for loop. Okay, before I explain, let me explain these things. The for loop and while loop are actually called as entry control loop. Entry control loops, whereas do while is known as exit control loop, exit control loop. Okay, for each is also an entry control loop. I can put that over here because in the beginning only it will check. Okay, we will get an idea about what are entry control and exit control loop and how they are useful. Okay, let us come back over here. Now let us take, I just say debug.log. Let us take an example that you want to create 10 enemies. Okay, how do we display that one? Actually, later when we make a code, the debug.log are going to change to something that will help us to create the enemies in game. Okay, here it is just we are just simulating, you can say. Here we say that okay, enemy, I can say enemy 1, or I can say create enemy 1. Okay, create enemy 1, right? Then let us take, instead of that I can say very short I can say hello Unity, hello Unity, hello Unity. I want to display this 10 times. So what I need to do, I copy this, paste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I am going to display hello Unity 10 times. Can you see that? 10 times I have to see means I have to write debug.log 10 times. Correct or not? Because anyhow it is going to execute sequentially. It will display all these things. Let us come and check it out in Unity. Okay, you can see in the inspector the code also. If I run the code, you can see that it has displayed 10 times Unity. Can you see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times it has displayed hello Unity. If you, what do you say that? Okay, let me stop this. Okay, you can see here we have 10 outputs actually. Okay, hello Unity has got displayed 10 times. Okay, now if I have to display hello Unity 10 times, then what I have done, I have written 10 times hello Unity. That is a bad thing. We are trying to reduce the number of lines of code. Reduce the number of lines of code. Make it more systematic. Reduce the amount of size taken by the code. Reduce the execution time. Okay, those are called as time efficiency and space efficiency, we say. But at present it is not that much required for us. Now, how do I execute hello Unity 10 times? Instead of writing like this again and again, if I want to execute 100 times, then I have to write debug.log 100 times. That's not a correct way. There comes loops. If you want to execute a statement, let us take or set of statements number of times repeatedly, we will be using the loop. The first loop that we are going to use is for loop. Okay, let's come to for loop. The for loop syntax is very simple. You can see here, okay, the for loop executes a statement or a block of statements repeatedly until a specified expression evaluates to false. That you should remember. Now we will come to know about this statement, what they have written here. We will understand. Most important thing is we will see this one. The for loop has three parts: initializer part, which is optional; expression part, which is also optional; iterators, which is also optional. Okay, if you want initializer, initialize. If you want to use an expression, use expression. If you want iterators, use iterators. Otherwise, all are actually optional. Okay, if you do not write any of these one, then the for loop becomes infinite loop that we are not going to execute in this program because our Unity will get stuck because okay, let's start. First one is the initializer. What is the meaning of that? Means in this part you can initialize any variable. Okay, at present I say the variable name is counter, counter, and I initialize it to 1. I have written int counter equal to 1. This is the initialization, that is the initializer part is separated by a semicolon. Then we will be writing the condition, that is going to be an expression which evaluates to true or false. Okay. So I say counter is less than or equal to 10. That means I want to execute this statement 10 times. So I am checking up to 10, semicolon. This part is going to be separated by the semicolon. Then I say counter, counter, counter plus plus. This is the incrementer or decrementer statement you will be writing here. Counter plus plus. Okay. Then I put bracket close. You can write only this much. If you have only one statement, you need not to put braces. But I put braces so that it is easy for me to explain. Okay. Now we have written this statement. Let us save and check whether it displays 10 times hello Unity or not. Come back, come to this place and run the code. You can see that it has displayed hello Unity. Don't think that it is only one. You can see here the count. It has displayed 10 times. Let me remove the collapse. Okay, collapse means it will collapse. If you say, if you click on this button, it will expand. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times it has executed the debug.log. If you collapse, what Unity does means it will just see all the outputs are same. So it will put in one box and writes here how many number of times it has executed. Okay, it has come actually from one statement. That is a for is a completely one statement again. Remember that for is completely one statement like switch case. That's cool. Now let's come back. Now how this works? Okay, very simple. If I have to say, for loop has 4 different parts. Remember that. This is a first part which is going to get executed only once. Okay. Then this code is going to get executed afterwards. Okay, let me write in Paint. It is better. Okay, don't save. Okay, let me copy this code so that I can be able to explain you clearly what is happening here. Control V. Okay, this is our for loop. Remember that for loop has 4 different parts. This part, this is the first part, this is the second part, this is the third part, and this is the fourth part. Okay, how do it executes? Let me explain. When the control comes to this place, it sees that I have to execute this statement. That is, we are telling here what is the meaning of this int counter equal to 1. We are telling it to create one memory location called as counter. Okay, and initialize it to 1. counter. It will create this memory location and initializes that to 1. That's a simple thing. Okay. Then after executing this statement, it will come to the second part. What is that? Here there is a condition whether counter is less than or equal to 10. We are checking whether less than or equal to 10. Yes, this condition is true. As this condition is true, it will go to the third part. Third part is the complete block. This whole block it has to execute. What we do? Debug.log hello unity. So system what it will does? It will display hello unity onto the screen once. Okay, it will display hello unity onto the screen once. I think I didn't copy this one, so that let me copy this and paste here. It's not copying. Don't know why. Copy and paste. Okay, let me take here. Okay, so it will display hello unity onto the screen. Okay, this is your computer or console window, you can say. Okay, after executing all the statements in the debug.log, it will go to the fourth part. What fourth part is doing? Incrementing the counter by 1. So counter becomes now 2. After executing the fourth part, it will come to second part. Then it will check the condition whether counter is less than or equal to 10. Yes, 2 is less than or equal to 10 is true. As this condition is true, it will go to the third part. It will display one more time hello unity. Okay, you got one more hello unity. After that it will go to the counter plus plus. Now counter is going to become 3 now because it is going to be overwritten, right? 3 is less than or equal to 10. Okay, it will go to here whether 3 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, true. As it is true, it will execute this. So you will get one more hello unity onto the screen. Then it will go to the fourth part. The counter will be incremented by 1. Okay, now the counter is going to become 4, right? Then it will go to this part, the second part, whether counter is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is 4. So it will display hello unity one more time. Then it will go to fourth part. Then this will be overwritten by new value, that is 5. Then it will go to the second part, whether 5 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So one more time you will get the output. Okay, then it will go to the fourth part. Okay, then what happens? It will be replaced by 6. You will get one more hello unity, right? Then it will be replaced by 7, right? You will get one more hello unity, right? Then what happens? It will be erased now. Okay, it will be becomes I hope you are understanding. Okay, this is a flow. Okay, this loop will be continuously executing until, okay, once this condition becomes false, the loop will get stopped. Okay, when the value becomes here, the counter becomes 11. Whether 11 is less than or equal to 10, the condition is false. This condition becomes false. As the condition becomes false, the loop will get stopped, it will come out and it will execute the below statements. Most important thing you need to remember here is, as long as this condition is true, this block is going to get executed. Once this condition becomes false, it will come out. That is the most important part. Now I told for loop is an entry control loop. Why? Because when you come inside, if you want to go inside of this block, first this condition should be valid. If it is true, then only it will enter into the loop. That is the reason it is called as entry control loop. I hope you understood how it is working. You can see that here also in the Unity. Okay, let me put a breakpoint and run and show you. Okay, I will clear this and run the code. Now we are at here. Let us use step into. Okay, and before that, let us see the counter. Counter is 0. Now if I say step into, counter is 1, so it will display once. Now counter is going to get increment, you can see that. it has become 2, and it will display one more time because counter is less than or equal to 10. You can see 2 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So it will display hello unity. Then again counter plus plus, counter become 3. One more time output will be displayed because 3 is less than or equal to 10 is true. Right. Step over, step into, step over, step into. I want you people to observe here how many times the loop is executing, you will understand. Right. Now 5 times it has executed. Okay. Then step over, step into, 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 step over, step into. Can you see that? It has executed 1 to 10, and the 11th time the loop has got false. So it has come out. Okay, that is how the loop is going to work out. Okay, I hope you clearly understood. That is for loop. Okay, let me clear this and come back. Okay, for loop has 3 different parts. Now I would like to talk about little bit about snippets so that you will get an idea. For, here this is a keyword and this is a snippet, dot dot dot. If you see, it's a snippet. What is the use of snippet means? You can need not to type everything. You just need to just type a for, that is enough. It will create a syntax for you. Okay, let me show that. I select this and press 2 times tab. You can see that it has written the code for you automatically. Only thing you need to change is what you want to change in this one. So instead of I write here counter, 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 and I press a tab to move to the next place. Then it is asking maximum value. I say here 10. Let me hit enter. Okay. This place I replace with 1. This place I replace with equal to, because I want the previous for loop only. Can you see that? Now I just say here debug.log to display the counter, or I can say hello unity, like this. That's it. Now if I come back, it works. So snippets are useful if you want to write code faster. They are very useful. Collapse, you can see that 10 times it has got executed. Nice. Let me show the snippets. Okay, you have many snippets like while statement. If you want, you can see that dot 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 is there, tab tab. This is the syntax of the while loop. Similarly, we have seen already switch statement. This is a switch, tab tab, you got the switch statement. Even you have a for loop. Even you have reverse for loop also. Okay, you can see that for R is the reverse for. If you tab, it will start with a max and goes to the minimum. We will come to the reverse for loop and all later. Okay, we will get the ideas of these snippets. I hope you understood at least what are snippets. They are available here in tools. If you want to get all the snippets list, you will get here somewhere, I think so. Okay, you will see them in this place, code templates. Okay, code templates you can say, or code snippets you can say. Okay, here you have different statements for different things. Okay, we have seen switch. If you want to see the template for switch, that means template means syntax almost. You have we have seen here for template. We have seen for reverse for loop template. You can see their templates is written here. If you want, you can create your own template also. For that, there will be a different small language you can say. You can use that one. How to write code templates. If you want to learn more, you can try. Then you have while, reverse for loop template. Okay, reverse for loop template. This is how it is written. Max 1. We can create ourselves also these things. I will explain how to create also later. Then you have like a lot of stuffs are there. Struct. I want you people to go through these things and remember these things, and later you can create your own code snippets also. Okay, I will be now onwards using maybe code snippets wherever I follow. Okay, wherever I, what do you say, want to use them. Okay, even you have struct template. Okay, this is a struct template. Okay, that is all about code snippets, guys. Now we have seen for loop, how it executes. Let us see the next loop, that is a while loop. Now to create a while loop, if we will be writing, let me write first for loop. I use shortcut now. For I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. You can see this time I have not using the variable counter. I am using I. You can use any name or any name here. Whatever the name you will be using here and here to increment or decrement. Okay. Now we have seen in the last session, that is we have used counter, COUNTUR. Better I will use that one. And later onwards we will use the variable names according to our requirement. Okay, then I say here debug.log, in bracket I say hello unity. Right. Now we have seen this is going to execute 10 times, right? You can just convert this for loop to while loop. Let me show that. Int, I say here counter is equal to 1. Okay, you are going to write this part here. Understanding? Then you are going to write this condition inside the while, while, while in bracket you are going to say counter is less than or equal to 10. This is a while block. Then after that you are going to put this third part inside the while loop, and the fourth part you are going to put at last, at the end of the while loop. Let me show how do you convert for loop to while loop. Very simple. I just cut this, put it outside, I replace this to while, while, while. I close this, I take this one, I put here and I put a semicolon. Just we have converted a normal for loop that we have seen before, which we have converted to the while loop. That's all. It's a simple way. Okay, this is how it looks. You can understand the for loop. Exactly, it works like a while loop. While loop is for loop is while loop at present for us. But we will be getting an idea why they have kept this loop, when we have to use for loop, and when we have to use while loop, when we have to use do while loop, all the stuff. At present, I just want to show you that all loops are almost going to behave similar, but their usage is different. Place we will be different place we use different loop. Okay. Now what it does, it is also going to behave same. It is also having the 4 parts. This is the first part, this is the second part, and the third part is actually the block, but I consider at present the third part is whatever you are writing before this counter plus plus, and this is going to be our fourth part according to the for loop. Okay. Now let us see how it works. If I run the code, it should display hello unity 10 times. Okay, code is ready. You can see that it has displayed hello unity 10 times. Let me stop this and come back. Now let me put a breakpoint and explain. First, this is going to execute. We know that according to the execution of the program, it will execute this line anyhow only once, right? The counter will be created and initialized to 1. Then this condition will be checked. This is again entry control loop. If condition is true, it will execute this. As long as this condition is true, this block will be executed. Okay. Counter is 1 at present. 1 is less than 10. Yes, it is true. Less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So it will display hello unity. After that, it will increment the counter to 2. After executing this block, it will come back to this place. Whether 2 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. it will display hello unity. Then it will increment the counter to 3. Then it will go back. Whether 3 is less than or equal to 10? Yes, it is true. It will display this. Counter will be incremented to 4. It will again go back. Whether 4 is less than or equal to 10? Yes, it will display this one. Then counter will be incremented. Like that it will go up to when counter becomes 11. 11 is less than or equal to 10 is false. If this becomes false, it won't execute this. It will come out of the loop, and whatever you have here, it will start executing down. Okay, whatever the codes are there. Now let us see. Now we have put anyhow breakpoint, and you can see the result of that. Okay, now we are here and we have a counter variable initialized to 0. Step over. We are at present, the counter is 1. It will check the condition now if I say step into. Counter is less than 10, that is true. So it has went inside. It will display hello unity. Step over. Now step over. Counter has incremented to 2, and you can see that control came back to the condition. In for loop also same thing happens, right? Now step into, step over, step over. Now the counter is 3. 3 is less than 10, yes. So step into, step over, step over. Counter is 4. 4 is less than 10, yes, that is true. So step into, step over, step over. Counter has become 5. 5 is less than or equal to 10, yes, true. So step into, step over, step over. 6. 6 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So step into, step over, step over. 7 counter. 7 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So step into, step over, step over. It is 8. 8 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So step into. It is going. This is what it is doing. Actually, you think like whatever I am saying, I am the compiler now. Okay, for you guys I am the compiler. This is how the code is executing. Okay, now step over, step over. Now it is 9. 9 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So step into, step over, step over. That is 10. 10 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. Step into, step over, step over. Now it is 11. 11 is less than or equal to 10. It is false. Step into. It has not gone inside. Came out. That is how it works. Same thing happens in the for loop also, right? Same steps it will carry there also. Okay, cool. Now we will be seeing how do we convert this while loop or for loop to the do while loop. Do while loop is little bit reverse. Nothing much. You just need to cut this from here, paste it over here, put a semicolon at the end. Okay, put the semicolon at the end, and here you need to write do instead of while. Now this is actually do while loop. Okay, what happens here means when the control comes to this line, it will initialize the memory location counter with 1, right? Then we are telling do. Do means it won't check any condition here. It will just execute this first. Okay, you can see that it is not an entry control loop. When it is entering, it is not checking anything. Just simply it enters and execute this one. Hello unity. Then the counter will be incremented. While coming out of the loop, okay, while coming out of this block, it is checking a condition. That is the reason it is called as exit control loop. At the time of exiting, it will check this condition. Okay, if this condition is true, then it will go to the do again. That means as long as this condition is true, you have to do this loop, and that means you have to execute this loop. That is the meaning of do while. Let us see now whether it displays 10 times the hello unity or not. Let us save. Okay, remove this, clear this, and run the code. You can see it has displayed hello unity and it is executed 10 times. Okay, you can see that. Okay, the difference between for while and for this do while is going to execute the loop first. That you should remember. Let us put the breakpoint and see how it executes. Okay, let me run the code. Now we are here. Let us see this one. Now counter is 0, step over. We are inside now, counter is 1. You can see that it is executing directly without checking anything, right? Now step over, step over. Can you see that? It has already checked and going back. Okay, so it will be doing this operation continuously. Okay, like this until the counter won't become 11. This loop will be executing. Okay, now it is going to become 11 and it has come out. This is how the statements are going to get executed. Okay, that is do while loop. I hope you understood clearly how the do while loop works. Okay, one more loop we have, for each loop, that you can use, but we will be using that one with much with arrays. So when I come to arrays part, I will be explaining you how the for each loop will be used. Okay, at present in this tutorial I wanted to tell you about for loop, while loop and do while loop. How do you write the for loop, how do you write a while loop, how do you write do while loop, and how those loops are going to get executed, why they are called entry control, or why for loop and while loop are called entry control, why do while is called as exit control, and how to get a hello unity to be executed 10 times using the all 3 loops, and also snippets, about snippets, right? Handy. Okay, that is all about I think for this class this much is enough, guys. In the next class we will be getting more information on these loops. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial. Hope you enjoyed the class. Keep learning.